Okay. Not an issue. Okay. So, I'll give time to you all to come on camera. So, before starting, hi, Professor Jinya. I hope you are doing well.
Yes, hello, ma'am.
Hi. Please call me, everyone, please call me Shraddhanjali the ma'am. Like the word ma'am sounds so heavy on my head. I get too much of pressurized that अभी मेरे को ये class अच्छे से लेना होगा फिर. So Shraddhanjali is completely fine for me. Okay.
Okay.
So just I would request everyone that what made you all interest for this webinar? Anyone who would like to? Did you all expect that? Yeah, in the day's class, Shraddhanjali is going to talk about sex, everything on sexual side. Maitri is smiling, I guess. Understandable. Yes, Aurora. Tell me. Bolo, bolo.
So, hi, I am a master's student right now, and when I saw the poster, I never knew something like this existed. So, I just wanted to know more about it.
Okay. Okay. I'll try my level best to give that much of exposure. Anyone else? Who thought that today Shraddhanjali is going to talk about the thousand plus sexual positions? The horse pose, dog pose, cat pose, all these sort of poses. I understand, Polemy. Okay, so why I asked this, I would be very honest that when I did my course, this course, diploma one, I thought, okay, I can know about sex, definitely. Heard of it for the first time. Okay, Namrata. When I did my course, I was thinking that my teacher was a male. And though I was not getting shy, I thought my male teacher is going to talk about sexual position. I would be having a lot of more position to explore. And then I made up in my mind that after marriage, I'm going to explore all the position of this sex with my husband. Then luckily I landed up in this spectrum, and I was like, "Arey baap re, ye bhi hota hai." But mark my words. Okay, Sanjana. But mark my words, I got more than, like, in each types of kink when I'm going to talk about, I got more than 50 plus cases. At least when I did it in the year 2017. From 19, I started because I was not at all like comfortable in talking about sex and all. But the moment I landed up becoming a sex therapist and a queer affirmative therapist, I got my degrees and everything. I got to see so much of cases. Then I knew that it's not an unusual or unconventional thing. It's just that people like to explore sex in much more deeper or intense. But yes, when I'm going to talk about more version of sex, please, anyone who is getting triggered or anyone who is not comfortable, let me know. I'll change my examples. Okay, because I have more, as I said, in all the spectrum, I have 50 plus cases. So definitely, I won't be talking about all the cases. But for on a lighter note, I'll try to take up all the cases. Okay, so I hope none of you know me apart from Aisha. Yeah, none of you know me. Unluckily and luckily also. So, hi everyone, I'm Shraddhanjali and I am pursuing my PhD. This is my final year, unfortunately, again. And by profession, I'm a counseling psychologist, a queer and king affirmative therapist, a sexual educator, and a sexual therapist, lactation consultant, expressive art therapist, blah, blah, blah. I'm not adding everything in my bucket because you people are going to get bored with this. So, yes, feel free to stop me anywhere where you all are not understanding. I won't mind. Okay. Now, what? Oh, Namrata attended my parapsychology. Oh, yes, I remember. I remember. Okay. So what is KAT? This is the shorter version of King Affirmative is KAT, King Affirmative Therapist. Now, what do you all mean by affirmation or affirmative? Anyone? Okay. So, what exactly is King Affirmation or King Affirmative? Where we are not demotivating the client, and we are not saying that no, please don't practice all this thing with your partner. Now why I'm telling partner, it's not only restricted with the straight individual, I mean a king positive practice. Yes, yes, follow me. We are not here to demotivate other couples or the partners. We are just going to talk about how to explore what are the safety measures we are going to teach our client. Now, when I talk about safety measures, definitely when I'm going to talk about mummification, when I'm going to talk about electrostimulation, you all can understand why I am talking about this. But abhi ke liye, where we are not demotivating our client, number one, and we talk about the positive side as well as the negative side to the client, but in a much positive way. Affirmation ka matlab where we are giving a positive, like positive chanting to our own self. Today I'm looking good, though I'm not looking good, but today in my mind I'm making that, yeah, Shraddhanjali, today you are looking good. That's the thing where our dopamine hits. Okay. So, what exactly is KAT? Where individuals where partners are attracted to unconventional desires. Now, here, please note that I'm not talking about the fetish behaviors. I am not talking about any sort of fetish behavior. I'm talking about BDSM and much more intense version of BDSM. Now, in kink affirmation therapy, we generally have to understand, is it just a thing that the client or the partners want to explore, or whether they have underlying trauma? If any people or if an individual do have underlying trauma, definitely we'll take into consideration of trauma formative approach or trauma from that trauma lens. Otherwise, we are just going to educate. We are going to talk about SSC. Definitely, I'm going to talk what is exactly is SSC. We are going to explore. It's more on the explorer side. Now, when I in the beginning when I said that 1,000 plus sexual positions, please mark my word, there are so many positions. We, even as a sex therapist, at least leaving my side also, even if you talk about any sex therapist, starting from Dr. Seema Anand, she is also a renowned sex therapist, if you all are aware of. She also won't be able to explain, because it's not that the matter, it's only limited to some like individual. Like if I talk about cat pose, if I talk about horse position, we all know, but there can be other poses also, chair pose, cup pose, tree pose. And mark my word, when I say tree pose, there are poses which is not only available, you can't even get all the things in it. Now, please don't limit yourself into the only when I'm talking about PPTs or in the books which I'm going to give. But the more you explore with the client, the more you can understand what exactly are sex. It's not only the vaginal intercourse or the vaginal sex or oral sex, it's much more than that. When I say much more than that, it's much more. But over here, as a therapist, as a king affirmative therapist, you need to understand just two things: whether the client has gone through any sort of trauma which has made the client like this, or just out of, if the client is a shape shaper, I'm going to talk what is that, the client want to explore. Just out of exploring, the client is into king affirmation practices and nothing else. Clear what is king affirmative? Okay. Next is, there are so many love languages. I'm not going to limit the love languages only to the five which we have read in family and relationship counseling. But as a king affirmative therapist or sex therapist, there are majorly one, two, three, four, five sort of love languages. Now, is it a love language or erotic preference? It's up to you all. Now, I wrote also both a sort of love language and erotic preference, because there can be any sort of therapist who are not from the sexual background or who don't like to handle sexual client. For them, it can be a erotic preference. But if I talk about myself, if I talk about any other therapist who are into this sexual practice, for them, it's a sort of love languages. So I wrote both, either love language or erotic preference. It depends on you, how you are exploring with the client. It's not on the client, because for the client, all these sort of five things, or all these sort of five names which I'm going to talk, are the preferences, are the love preferences. Okay, so the very first thing is kinky. Now, kinky means where the client are attracted to undesirable or unconventional desires like bondage. Anyone having idea what is bondage? Yes, Aisha.
Ma'am, wherein one partner ties another partner up or restrains them
Hmm.
using handcuffs, ropes, and all.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, perfect. So, kink is a sort of thing which only talks about BDSM, but the upper one, like the in the upcoming slides when I'm going to talk, you can understand it's much more than that. But a person who is kink, who would be liking, they would be liking to do some sort of kinkish behavior like bondage, tying the partner with the chair, with the bed, or a sort of tree preference. Like tree matlab, when a client is like, for example, I like to be a tree. For example, I like to be on the tree position. So I would be doing this, my breasts are out. Now why I'm talking so that you all can understand. And this is the exact way a sex therapist, I don't know about other sex therapists, at least my teacher, I'm not going to name who was she or he, they taught me this is the exact way. When I say that I'm a sex educator, that means it's not only restricted to my therapy session. I do teach clients also in corporate schools and college setup, and hence this is the way. So tree means when I am this in this position and my partner would like to suck my boobs itself. That is what tree pose is. ठीक है? This is a sort of kinkish behavior. Now, as I said, whether it's a love language or an erotic preference, it would be dependent on you as a therapist what you want to explore. Clear? अरे कुछ तो clear बोलो. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay, okay. Next is sensual. Kink, yeah. Sensual. By the name sensual, you all can understand these are those individuals who prefers to be on the romantic side. Every one of us are romantic. I'm not talking about, but these are highly romantic people. For them, this sort of people like they prefer to include all the five senses. All the five senses, starting from touch, starting from smell. Stuff is so new. Okay, okay, follow me. I understand. So they are like, for example, they prefer massage from their partners. Now, how massage? Massage is a sort of touch. Okay. Now, when they I'm talking about massage, they prefer some sort of scented candles because they would be smelling that also. They prefer taking each and every senses in their practices. And also they are highly emotional with their partner. This is what sensual is. Clear what exactly is sensual? Next is sexual. Now, sexual, these are those sort of individual who are more focused on their genitals. They prefer genitals sort of pleasure. Only and only intercourse or vaginal play. Now, when I talk about intercourse and vaginal play, let me be clear what exactly is intercourse. We all know intercourse means when the penis is getting penetrate into the vagina. That is intercourse. And when I talk about vaginal play, that means they play with their partner's genitals, only with their vagina or with their penis. They like playing. Apart from intercourse, they like playing. They like to take their penis in hand. They like to take the vagina in their hand. They would be cuddling with them. They would be throwing some sort of rose petals only with the vaginals. Clear what is sexual? Clear what is the difference between sensual and sexual? Okay. Next is energetic. Now, this sort of individual are those who tends to get arousal with their spiritual vibes. Anyone who have heard about tantra sex or tantric sex? Aisha, not. Okay.
I've heard about it.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
I've heard about it.
Okay, okay. So these are those sort of individual who prefers to have tantric sex. Now, tantric means don't misunderstand me that it's a sort of astrological thing, because I remember someone said, Shraddhaji, tantric matlab I have to do sex with the tantra. I said no, no. So tantric sex, I am showing the picture. This is what tantric sex is, where the
It's
partner.
basically the spiritual side of sex.
Yes, yes. This is called Yap Thumb pose. YAT. YUM, Yaptham pose, where you are sitting with your partner, you are hugging the partner in the naked version. Either definitely naked means you can even wear a like bikini or something. It depends on the partner. Now this they also prefer energetic are also on that line where they prefer conscious touching. Any idea what is conscious touching?
I'm not very sure about it, but
Mhm.
maybe conscious touching is, if like you're into chakras and stuff, and maybe, basically it seems like acupuncture, where you know that where to touch so that, certain energetic areas are also stimulated along with the normal stimulation.
Bilkul. They are going to pinpoint, they are going to touch all the body parts. Definitely, there are certain sort of position in which the partner is going to sit, both the partners. I'm not going to talk about the like position because I feel that few can get triggered. But there are certain sort of position where they would be sitting in that, and the opponent partner would be touching with their fingers, not with full hands, with their fingers. They would be dabbing and they would be feeling that. It's a sort of mindfulness. If I talk about psychological terms, it's a sort of mindfulness. Energetic are basically on this side. Clear? Okay. So if you want to, I have given this link is clickable. I'm not clicking the link. Now, if you want to explore what is the Yaptham pose, you can see this video. It would be getting clear. Now there are certain, oh shit, it hasn't yet. Okay. Now, when I talk about sexual position, again, this link is clickable. You all can read it if you want to explore more on sex. So, yeah, this is the exact way. When we teach our client, not only in client, when we conduct workshop about what exactly is tantric sex. Again, this is the way we are teaching, and this is the exact way itself. So again, I'm not going to play. I understand you people can get triggered because most of you are not comfortable in talking about sex. So I have attached 2 to 3 videos to explore how tantric sex, because tantric sex, there are so many misconceptions. Just to eradicate this misconception, I have given. Okay. Next is shapeshifter. Now this is only one of the individual who is comfortable in all the position or all the spectrum. If I talk about kink, I talk about sex. If I talk about, sorry, not sex, sexual, sensual, energetic, they combine everything. These are the sort of love languages of kink behaviors or kink preferences. Clear? Okay. Yes, Paulami, tell me.
Uh, it's what I wanted to ask is that in sensual, that when you talk about like sensual sex, people are stimulated by the senses, right? In which the partners try to kind of stimulate
Body.
each other's senses, body parts, so that they can get aroused. And in energetic sex as well, they are kind of stimulating certain energy centers. So isn't like the energetic sex is a higher, more evolved version of sensual
Sensual.
sex?
Yes, yes. Someone who wants to explore more of the energetic or the tantric, they have to be more mindful. Because if I talk about taking back to this, I'm not playing, but taking back to this picture, zooming this. Sorry, I have to.
Yeah.
Do any
Okay.
one of you feel that this can arouse any sort of intimacy or orgasm?
It can if you're doing it with someone you really love interest, not with if you're like, I don't think so. If you're like into hookups or one night stands, you might be aroused by this kind of thing.
Not even follow me to correct you. Yeah, what you said is absolutely right. I'm not demotivating you. I'm demeaning you. But even I have seen people like they are married for 20 years. If I want to be on this, if they want to be on this sort of tantric position or tantric or some sort of energetic, they are not getting aroused. It's just the connection. It's the aura, the sort of
Okay.
spiritual connection. But see, if I talk about hookups, You can see all other things are ready. Even in hookups, I have seen people are getting aroused in this pattern.
Okay.
So it's just the thing that we, not we, definitely the couples explore on what side we are. But
Okay.
energetic love preferences are more on a higher side, where it
Okay.
takes time for the partner. But I have been seeing a client, they came for a couple counseling session. They said me that the moment they are into this position, only they are going to get aroused. Otherwise, even if the wife is naked, sorry, if the wife is naked, the husband doesn't get aroused.
But I think it boils down to individual preferences, right?
Yes,
That what
yes,
you want and prefer.
yes. That is the thing. See, I said love preference. For few, Arey baap re, what happened? Okay. For few, it's something which is not getting triggered, but for something not triggered, I won't say aroused, but for some, it can get aroused. It's just with the partner, how well you are having a connection with your partner.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Am I clear with the five sort of love preferences?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, what do you think, which is the most two common, like best combination among all the five?
I would say sensual and the tantric one, which you said, tantric sex.
Hmm. Why? Yeah, it's right. Sensual and energetic. But why?
Because all the energies and all, I'm into this field, so I just know about it. I guess
Yeah, about the emotional connection, energies, and aura. Yeah. And one more is also there. Anyone? Give a try, not an issue. I'm not here to judge. I'm not the judgmental side on that.
I guess shapeshifter as well might be common.
Shapeshifter with which combination?
Sexual, I guess.
Sexual are more focused on the genitals.
Uh, okay.
Kinky.
Okay.
Shapeshifter can adopt all the things, and
Okay.
kinky wants to explore. So it's
Okay.
like these two are only the best.
Okay.
Okay. So, any doubt? Anyone? Because I can't see. I would request everyone at least to come up on camera because I can only see Tejaswani and Aisha. Yeah, finally follow me. Follow me. उधर पे क्या बहुत ठंडा है? Okay, I would.
Yes.
Understand.
Yes.
Okay. So please, I would request everyone to come up on camera because unless and until I'm seeing none, it's pretty like I feel that oh, class is sleeping. Let me also sleep. Okay. So, any idea what exactly is BDSM? Huh? Studying psychology, studying
it is,
everything.
it is a B for bondage
Ah,
and D for discipline, S for sadism or sadism, and M for masochism or something like that.
masochism.
50
Perfect.
Shades of Grey, basically.
Yes, 50 shades of grey. Other own apart living Aisha, others are from others background. Okay, joking. I understand. So, what exactly is BDSM? Bondage. Now, B matlab bondage. Now, the moment I talk about bondage, it's like I am a bondage. For example, please, I'm not on this spectrum, okay? But I like to be a bondage. So, what would my partner be doing? My partner would be buying me some sort of handcuffs, tying me like blindfolded, and I'm going to then explore. It's a sort of bondage, handcuffs, ropes. I and people are not going to restrict anyone. Now, definitely, after this, I'm going to talk about SSC. So, bondage is something where I would be restricting myself, or leaving me. I am not on the spectrum of bondage, but my partner prefers, and I'm not a shipper. But what would be my partner doing? My partner would be tying me. My partner basically would be restricting me, either in any way, blindfolded, tying my hands in the bed, anything. That is a bondage. D means discipline or dominance. Discipline, by the name discipline, we all can understand that, yeah, chup and chap, nothing. Even if I'm getting hurt, that individual is not going to say anything. But what is dominance? Where my partner or I would be exerting my power, authoritative power on my couple, authoritative parenting. I hope you all remember the types of parenting. वो भी भूल गए हो सब वाह good. I feel that I forgot. I believe this class also got, not an issue. Okay, so dominance means, thank God, ha Maitri, ha, finally I see some people are responding, finally.
Um, so
Ha.
authoritative, authoritarian, pessimistic, and I forgot the fourth one, I think. But yeah, these three are the main types of parenting I'm talking about. If
Neglect
you
na
want.
apna मतलब लिख दिया. Yes. So, but in dominant, what happened where the partner is exerting all the power, not only the power, the authoritative position or the power on the other partner. It's very painful. Why I say painful? If I talk about one of a case study, not a case study, but a real life case of mine, which I saw, husband is on a spectrum of dominance. Wife is a very sort of sensual one. Now, every single night, she would keep on shouting that please don't penetrate in that way because I am getting hurt. But no, the husband is that no, मेरे को करना है मतलब करना है. Even after they said it has been 12 years of marriage, they are having two kids, lovely, beautiful kids. But still, the wife has not the wife, sorry, the husband is a sort of dominant. That no, whatever I say, you have to. It's a sort of they like to do that. Now, do you know what is the rule? Like why people turn dominant?
I do not about the dominant part, and maybe I'm misinterpreting it. But see, maybe I could be very wrong, but isn't it if you're saying that the wife is kind of on the sensual spectrum and she's telling the husband, no, don't do it, doesn't that come under marital rape?
Okay, good question. I'm going to address this question at the last so that everyone can understand what exactly is rape or not. But somewhere it comes, somewhere again it don't come. But any idea what exactly or why people turn dominant? Anyone who knows about inner child wounds, parent wound?
Uh,
Huh.
if I may
Ah,
try.
yes, 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 Professor.
So there's this hypothesis I've been working through, and I have been studying a lot, that people who are more dominant or a very powerful leader in their regular life, they tend to want some space where they don't need to take any decisions, and they want to let go of it, and they want to be bossed around maybe. And it's the vice versa also. I have personally seen, observed a lot of people and talked to them freely about that, especially the firstborn and the secondborn. The way we are treated, the way our responsibilities are, the patterns show up, and that's where, with a partner, we want to live the other life. So basically, people who are very dominant in their career perspective or any kind of family perspective, they want to be dominated in the bed. And if they are not able to take decisions outside, they have always been the younger daughters or younger sons, so they try to become the dominating person in bed.
Yes, yeah. It's absolutely true. But if anyone knows about inner child healing, the types of child coming up from the dysfunctional families, particularly the scapegoat, they are majorly to turn a dominant partner in their life with their partners. The scapegoat or the black sheep, where if I explain in one word, they were continuously blamed for each and everything, even if they are doing wonders. तुमसे ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Why did you do so? For you, I lost my job. For you, I had to lose my career. Especially the mothers in their family talks about this. That for my son, I has to lose my job. So they are the black sheep of the family or the scapegoat, if I talk in inner child healing's perspective. So they tend to become a sort of dominant. Now, again, I'm saying that not every time. It's just the perspective which I'm talking about. Okay. Next is submissive. What exactly is submission is where I am not initiating anything, only my partner is going on with me. I don't prefer to take any lead. But yeah, I'm okay if my partner prefers to do this thing. I am okay if my partner prefers to something or anything, whatever my partner prefers, I can adjust. Now, do you feel that submissive is a sort of shipper? How many of you all feel this?
I do feel they could be.
Okay. Anyone else who feel the same? No one? Yeah. Sometimes the partner could be like the main individual who is a sort of submissive. They can be a shaper. Not every time again, but sometime. If you take in consideration of the cases, like with the case record, when you are taking the initial data, you can ask. But again, not in every sort of counseling, if they are coming up only for sex counseling. Now, any idea about why people tend to become submissive? Again, in terms of in terms of inner child healing, there is a sort of child coming up from dysfunctional family, the hero child or the golden child. The name is same. Now, they are the sort of individual who tends to please others. They are the people pleaser. And sometimes submissive is on this spectrum also. Now, why I'm linking it to inner child, you all can understand when I said that it can be due to trauma. It's not that I am not on, I don't want to explore, but due to trauma, for example, due to trauma, I had to explore all this, or due to trauma, I have become this. So again, I'm making a connection with inner child healing or trauma and sex. Okay. Now, if I talk about the sadist, anyone who knows about the Freud study? What did Sigmund Freud said? When I did my subconscious training, this was being taught that why people tends to be a sadist is just because, like as I said, in the inner child process. For example, every single day, I am getting humiliated by my mom and dad. And I feel that sort of because I'm a child, subconscious thing, I'm a child. I'm right now not in the age of 20 or 21. When I'm talking about the subconscious mind, that means I am talking about the childish or my childhood times. This time, I feel, or I used to feel that if my mom and dad is scolding me, that is a sort of, that used to give a sort of pleasure to me. And hence people turns sadist. Now, what is sadist? Sadists are those sort of individual who likes giving the pain to others. For example, take my example. I am a sadist only. I am insulting. This is my partner. This cup is my partner. I am a sadist. I am humiliating my partner. तुमसे ना हो पाएगा. And it's not that only तुमसे ना हो पाएगा. I use some sort of vulgar languages, gali, foul languages, and it can be in front of others also. So sadists are those sort of individual who likes to give pain to others. Now, if I talk about the subconscious studies, I said that Freud said, I'm not claiming, Sigmund Freud, Baba gave this, that the one who are on the spectrum, it can be that they have perceived their childhood that they used to get humiliated by their parents. And right now, for them, they feel, okay, it's a sort of love, it's a sort of attraction given by my parents. Now, in turn, it's my partner who is doing on me. Clear about sadist? Okay. Now the masochists. Now masochists are those who likes to receive the pain from the sadist.
Shraddhanjali, I have a question regarding sadism. So, Sadism, is it related to, for example, that if there is partner A and there is partner B, so let's say partner A is a sadist, so would they, like, for example, let's say partner A was like humiliated, beaten up with the parents and stuff, so would they enjoy inflicting pain on others, or would they like enjoy that pain is being inflicted on them?
Borderline, you are talking about?
Sorry?
You are talking about borderline?
Not exactly. For example, that if partner A has been the one beaten up and
Hmm.
humiliated by their parents, so would they like to inflict pain on the others, right? If they are
Yes,
into sadism.
yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, what are masochists? Now, this sort of individual like to receive the pain from the sadist. Now, again, there was a subconscious study which Freud has given, not me. Now, when they used to perform, for example, I am on this spectrum, and every single day I used to get beaten up by my mom and dad. After a certain age, my mom and dad has stopped beating me up, right? अभी हम लोग को तो मारपीट नहीं होता है ना. So, but if I had perceived that sort of pain, or not pain, that sort of expression of guilt, not guilt, also, I won't say love from my parents. Now, suddenly my mom and dad stopped. Now, I would feel a sort of guilt why my mom and dad had stopped. Is it something I did a mistake? Is it that they are not loving me? And hence, the moment they are growing up, they would be on the spectrum of masochist. Now, if anyone have read about now, how can I say, in sex therapy also we had to do a long term, like for 2 months, subconscious study, because when I talk about subconscious study, we need to know certain things. But also there can be some sort of subconscious courses also you can learn, or you can check online. You can get an idea about BDSM, why people turns. It's not that we are liking. Today, if I feel that I would like to beat up anyone, why so? Something has happened with me. If I'm on the verge of doing beating or beating anyone every single day. So, subconscious minds plays an important role in sex studies or king affirmative study. Okay. Yes, Tejashwini.
So I just wanted to ask too. Sometimes there's a switch between BDSM. So how does that like work and like in terms of can they be called shapeshifters then?
Yes, that is a shape shifter.
So they are shifting between BDSM.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Okay. Any doubt? Because I am going to talk about kink right now. This was not kink. Okay. Anyone any doubt? Okay. Now, any idea what is autosexual? Firstly, tell me what is gender and what is sex. Are the both same or not? Not same.
No,
Okay. Yes, Dr.
gender
Singh.
is sex is your biological identity, whereas gender is how you identify yourself.
No.
Sex is your biological identity.
Yes, sex is my
Gender is
biological identity. If I'm having a
yes,
vagina, that means I'm a female. Or
female,
if I'm
right?
having a
And
penis, that means I'm a male. Yes, perfect.
male, yes. And gender is how I identify myself, whether I'm a male, whether I'm a female, whether I'm a transgender.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes.
Yes. Yes, Aisha. Tell me. You attended the class. Tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Gender is how the society says that you are this, you are that by our looks.
Yes. And what is sex?
It is the biological part which we have.
Okay. And what is sexual orientation? Bolo?
uh, to whom I am attracted to,
Yes. And what is gender identity?
how I identify myself, how I want to show myself to the society.
Yes. Okay. Now, please don't understand that, yeah, she is my personal student. She had attended the choir formative class last week itself, and hence these terms I taught. So, just a quick wrap up. What is sex? It's my biological thing. Like, if I'm having a vagina, that means I'm a girl. If I'm having a penis, that means I'm a boy. Okay? That is sex. What is gender? How the society is tagging me up. It can be by the role, it can be by the general expectation how the society is tagging me. Clear about this two things like gender and sex? Okay, now what is gender identity? Gender identity means how what I am attracted to. It's not like that. It's like how I relate to my inner self. Whether I feel comfortable in my body or whether I'm not comfortable in my body. But what is sexual orientation? To whom I'm attracted to? It can be I'm attracted to a male, it can be I'm attracted to a female, it can be I'm attracted to a third gender or a trans, anything. Now, third gender, when I talk about third gender, there is a difference between trans and there is a difference between hijra. Hijra is a community. Hijra is just a community. If I talk about in more layman term, it's an occupation. For example, I can tell my father or I can tell any male figure in my family that to wear a sari, to dress up like the way a woman does and stand in a traffic and put a tali, that is my mom, or like that is my brother or my father is standing to a hijra. But when I talk about trans, that means some sort of issues, body dysphoria was there. Now, it's not necessary that all trans people, trans men or trans women, would be going through a process of surgery. Clear about this? Okay. Now, what is autosexual? Autosexual are those sort of individual who prefers to get attracted to themselves itself. They are not attracted to anyone. They are not attracted to male, they are not attracted to female, they are not attracted to anyone. They only get attracted to themselves. Now you can ask me, Shraddhanjali, we all love ourselves. Definitely, we all love ourselves. But today, if I'm saying that the moment I'm seeing someone performing any sort of sexual activity, that doesn't mean I have to touch my boobs or I have to touch my vagina. It can be I can masturbate. But for them, masturbation is a sort of love. It's not that they have to take out something or they have to do something. Masturbation for them is a love. But again, it's nothing unusual. People can be autosexual. Clear about autosexual?
People who are autosexual, are they like sexually aroused by themselves?
Yes. They are aroused by themselves. The moment they are seen naked, like for example, if I'm on autosexual, when I'll be taking a
Okay.
bath, definitely I'm not going to wear all these stuffs. I will be
Yeah.
fully naked. So the moment I'm naked, I'll get goosebumps.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Swati.
So autosexual and asexual are different, right?
Asexual is they don't feel attracted to anyone, not even themselves.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
autosexual is they are only attracted to themselves. Like if I'm a autosexual, I am only attracted to my body. But if I'm on an asexual spectrum, I am attracted to no one, not even my body.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Fictosexual. Now, again, fictosexual I have seen in India itself, or even living India in Kolkata itself. Fictosexual are those sort of individual who tends to get attracted to fictional character. How many of you all heard that people getting attracted to Pikachu or Doraemon? Sexually attracted. I'm talking about sexually attracted. No one. Have you seen this boy anywhere? Tejaswani is nodding the head. Okay. No one have seen. Okay, Namrata have seen. No one. Okay. So this was an individual from Japan. He is a fictosexual. Yes. Paulo में name बोलो ना इसका नाम भूल गया मैं. Remember the name Tang Hung something of Japanese name again. Oh, same case. Okay. So fictosexual are those sort of individual who tends to get attracted to fictional character. I had seen a client in Kolkata itself who said me suddenly I'm going to get married to Pikachu. And I did not disrespect because it's nothing a sort of disrespect, it's a sort of orientation again. Now after 6 or 7 months, he brought a big Pikachu. He got something because he was from a very posh family in Kolkata and he got married to that Pikachu. Akino Kuntu Ha 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 Kangsha, some big name as a sort of Japanese. This is the name. Kundu Pundu something. So sorry. Fictosexual would be getting attracted to fictional character. I remember one of our clients said me, I'm going to get married to Doraemon. And this was a female client. Now this Hunku Tunku, this boy in this picture got married to this doll. And this was a doll, I remember. I hope you all have seen the Teen Superman or something. There was a cartoon. Like this doll represent that sort of fictional character. And this was more famous. Like this is one of the most famous cases of fictosexual. In Delhi also there is a couple, like I would definitely a couple only, who is a fictosexual. If you all read, you all can go ahead and read that. That individual, I forgot the name, but definitely if I'm going to I'm going to give it to Sajal. In TEDx, he said that, yeah, I got married to, what was the name? Nobita. So fictosexual would be getting attracted to some sort of fictional character. Okay. Clear till now? Yes, Swati.
So the sexual attraction is there with the fictional characters.
Yes.
Now, I mean, would there be some intimacy also with them? I mean,
Yes.
so they
yes.
would prefer that fictional character to be the partner and they would go ahead
Yes.
with sexual life.
Sexual life, yeah. Okay. Next is asexual spectrum. Now, this is not a queer formative class. I'm not going to talk about all the asexual spectrum. So, what exactly is asexuality? Where people do not get sexually attracted to anyone. Or it's something out of their orientation only. It's nothing which is so called abnormal. Definitely, people term it as abnormal. Nothing abnormal. This is bilkul normal. I'm not going to talk about all the spectrum, but asexuality is something where people do not feel or do not tend to get attracted to anyone. Now, if I talk about asexual spectrum, there are three sort of spectrum: negative, neutral, and positive. Negative is asexual where they are nothing. They don't feel targeted or they don't feel attracted to anyone. People are generally like, please don't talk to me about sex. I don't like. They would be on this response. If a sort of negative or neutral response is coming, they would feel positive. Again, somewhere down the line, they would be feeling negative or gender fueled. Any idea what is gender fueled? Where they would be moving like a fluid. Something on this range, sometime on this range. Gender fluid and sex neutral are common. And what exactly is sex positive? They feel that without sex we can't live, and it's a most common thing or the most romantic version in the earth. They are on that side that without sex or without romance nothing can exist.
But I have a query that if like asexuality technically means that you don't feel the need to have sexual connection, right? So if an asexual person is a sex positive person, so aren't they just like a normal regular sexual person who
What
believes
is
that
normal?
it's a healthy part of life? So like aren't they contradicting each other in a way?
Now tell me what is normal.
um I think normalcy is something, which we make up for ourselves so that we can have a coherent sense of what is going on in the world. It's something that we create for ourselves. That is what I feel.
Bilkul. Now, when I talk about the spectrum, it means it's my own experiences, is not nothing. It can be my attitude. I am asexual, but I believe in sex.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Clear? Now I'm not going to confuse, because in my class last week, people like Aisha was there. They were like, "ये क्या बोल रही हो तुम, Shraddhanjali?" So I'm not going to confused. Okay.
No, no, it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what is romantic and unromantic? Again, this is in the spectrum. Romantic are those who are committed, who likes performing sexual activity, intimacy, but aromantic are those sort of individual who lack interest. It can be now, it can be due to two reasons. Either I am on the asexual spectrum, or I had some sort of trauma, I had some sort of molestation, I had some sort of rape. For that reason, right now, I do not have interest in sex. Now, again, there can be a sort of thought process that Shraddhanjali isn't a romantic related with age. Definitely, it can be related with age. I'm not disagreeing. But again, our romantic is not at the age of 60. That, oh, till 59, I was very romantic. I had a very romantic lifestyle with my partner. Suddenly, after 1 year, I became a romantic. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Aromantic starts with some sort of issues, underlying trauma, grief. For example, if my partner dies, and I had a very healthy relationship, again, for example, I had a very healthy relationship with my partner. Suddenly, my partner dies. From that single day, I would be on this aromantic spectrum. Clear about romantic versus aromantic? Everyone? Okay. And if you all are not clear, tell me. I can't understand because I can't see anyone. Okay. Now, what is demisexuality and gray sexuality? Demisexuality, now again, it's a sort of orientation. Okay. Now, demisexuality are those sort of individual who prefers having emotional connection only within the charm circle. It can be I am in my charm circle with my partner. Okay. But I am not having that much of connection with my partner, but I have some connection with other person, and they prefer to have sexual connection only with closed emotional people. And again, it can be out of trauma also. If, for example, every single day my husband is molesting me, some sort of rape is being done by my husband, I tend to get inclined, though I'm having a connection, though I'm having close in relationship, emotional connection with my partner, that is my husband, but I can be a demisexuality or demisexual individual with someone who is not my husband. Clear about demisexuality? Is it too late? Namrata, I can understand you are understanding, but what about others?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. हाँ, ऐसे respond करो. So that I feel, हाँ, अभी मेरा dopamine rush हो गया. Okay. Now, what are gray
Sorry,
sexual?
just one question. So, demisexuality is like usually they develop sexual bond. Like first they develop an emotional bond, and then that they are sexually attracted to that person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a high connection. Like it has to be a very strong high bond.
So the first there should be an emotional bond. Only then
Yes.
after that there will be an sexual bond. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Next is gray sexuality, where in this sort of person they do experience sex, but not on everyday basis. It's highly occasional. Now it can be, I know one of an individual, again I'm not going to name. He is one of a most famous celebrity, and he was once my client. He said me that on every sorry, Valentine Day, he is getting attracted. Like he experiences sex. He wants. Apart from that, he is picture perfect. January, March, April, May, June, July, August, he don't experience. But only in the month of February, he tends to get sexually attracted, because that is the Valentine month. This is gray sexual people. Clear about gray sexuality? Okay. Now, safe, sane, and consensual. When I talk about SSC, that means you have to ask the permission of the client. Now, when I'm talking about, I would be talking in two aspects. You have to ask the permission again of the client, because when I talk about kink, you all can understand while I'm talking about client. It can be I prefer mummification, but my husband prefer electrostimulation. Two are different concepts. My husband don't prefer mummification, I prefer mummification. Now, to let that relationship sustain or to have a long healthy relationship, I need to make that husband and wife in that similar line, that so that I am liking electrostimulation and my partner is liking mummification. So I need a consent for both, that this is the way. And also, in terms of couple or in terms of partner, you have to make each and every partner clear that they need to have certain sort of safety measure, particularly when they are performing any sort of kink of formation activities, blood play, eating the hairs. Now there are definitely I'm going to talk. So before that, I'm not going to say, but a safe sort of environment is required. Now, if why safe? Person coming from cook holding background. What exactly is cook holding? I'm going to talk, but cook holding means I am in a relationship with partner A. Okay, let's give an example. I'm in a relationship with Salman Khan. Okay, now suddenly Salman, I am a cook holder or cook holding. I tell Salman Khan that today I want you to perform sexual activity with Kareena Kapoor and in front of me. That would give a dopamine rush to me. Basically, this cook holding is something where one partner is engaged with other sort of partner in the partner like biological, not biological, but in the consent of present partner. Now again, it's nothing unusual. It's just a sort of safe environment is needed. A consent is also needed. And here there is a sort of worksheet which we give to the client. Now, in two worksheets which we give, one to the husband, one to the wife, in both the worksheets, same thing is written, just to check whether the husband and whether the wife have a sort of disagreement or not. If they are having a disagreement, we try to keep in a line. If they are not in disagreement position, we try to establish the safer side, that how to perform kink activity. This is what SSC, that is safe, sane, and consensual. Now, basically, what are kink? Now, the very okay, sure. Okay, yeah. Now, the very first sort is praise. By the name, you all can understand. Praise means where I'm complimenting someone. Okay. Now, this sort of compliment is different. Now, no, my partner, if my partner is praise one, I can't tell my partner today you are looking very cute. That won't give a dopamine, neither a oxytocin. Okay. But if I tell my partner that you have sucked my vagina in a very beautiful manner, that means if my partner is on the praise side, he would get attracted and he would get aroused by that. This sort of praise are generally related with sexual activity. After performing a very healthy sexual, like time consuming sex, if I tell my partner, or if my partner says me, Shraddhanjali, today our sexual thing, today the way I did intercourse with you and the way you had performed oral sex with me, something had helped me. If I'm on praise, I would be getting aroused by that compliment which my partner have given me. But definitely, if my partner say, Shraddhanjali, by wearing this red color dress, you are looking good, I'm saying, praise is only related with the genitals. Clear about praise? And also, it's not only in the bedroom sort of praise. I'll tell a case. This was a CID officer. I'm not going to name because he's quite famous. The moment you search his name, you are going to get, and hence I'm not going to say. He got married in the year 2022. And in the year 2023, they had some sort of like parties and all where CID, CBI, IB officers were gathered. Now, in front of 17 people, mark my words, 17 people, the husband said in front of everyone to the wife that yesterday when you gave me the chance of sucking your boobs, I was mesmerized. I love your boobs. Believe me, definitely we all can get awkward. I understand, but the wife was aroused. This is what praise means. It's not only in the bedroom setup. Even if you are praising the like partner who is in this side of praise, anywhere and everywhere they can get aroused. Clear about praise? Okay, pardon me if I have to say, but this is the actual case. Okay, degradation king is just opposite of praise, where you are insulting your partner in a very bad manner. Let me give you an example. I pardon if I am giving that example, but I would be taking the language. Now, if I get the consent from everyone, am I like, if you all are giving the permission only, then I'll say, is it okay for everyone? Okay. So this husband and wife came up to me, and this is my very first case which I've seen. And hence I remembered, because after completing my king, I got to see one and I was very happy. But the moment I heard that sort of sound, not sound, but that sort of language, I was like, "Arey, aisa bhi koi hota hai kya?" Now the wife and husband, they were being married for 2 months. They are on the spectrum of degradation. After many months, I came to know. Now the husband did something in their partner in their bedroom and shit. Now in front of me in the therapeutic setup, it was not a king affirmation session which was going on. It was general art therapy session which I was doing for both the couples. I forgot why I was doing, but I was doing art session. So I gave a white page to them and they were doing. And suddenly the wife said, "Suddenly, do you know one thing?" I said, "What? Tell me." And she was of my age at that time. Today, not today, but that day they were saying today, matlab last day when we were having intercourse, I tried to stop my husband, but he did not stop. और तुमको पता है ये चुतिया ने मेरे साथ क्या क्या किया? And I did not smile. Honestly, I was very serious, but I was feeling very awkward because the moment I heard some sort of stuff, I was like, okay. And the husband was like, हाँ मेरे को पता है मैं चूतिया हूँ, and that's the reason you are a चूतियन. And that the moment they went out, and I was like, would you all require some sort of privacy in this setup? Both were very comfortable, and I had to leave. And they did not perform any sort of vaginal sex or oral sex. They were just playing, having a foreplay for 10 minutes. Degradation king is just this sort of example where the opponent partners would be insulting other partner. It can be in room, it can be anywhere. They won't mind. And also degradation king can be like, I am spitting onto you. Yes, I am spitting onto you. That means for that reason, you are getting aroused. Clear about degradation king? Okay. Next is electrostimulation. Now, in electrostimulation, what happened? If I'm on the verge of getting electrostimulation, I would be using any sort of electric gadget to give electric shock to my partner. And now, electrostimulation happens in only three areas of your body. Not your, but on that body. Number one is over here, just below your ears. Number two is on your genitals. And number three is on your body, like on your boobs. If you are a girl, your partner would be using the power of, like, not the power, the electrostimulation, particularly on the nipples. Now over here, definitely we need to teach, or we need to psycho-educate about the drawbacks also. Because for example, एक बार हाथ में electric shock लेके देखो how you all feel. Now imagine if your partner, or if anyone is giving a shorter version of the shock of that also. Now, if you search in Amazon or Flipkart or anywhere, you can see there are wands like thing. A small sort of sheets, like it's a sheet sort of thing which you need to charge. And the moment you are charging, that get heated up, and from there you can put that electric shocks. Now the duration matters. It can be for 2 seconds, it can be for 5 seconds, it can be for 10 minutes. It depends on both the partner. And also this sort of things I have seen for more than 50 plus cases. But over here, what you talk about how the electric shocks are to be given, whether your partner is agreeing or not. If I am not on this spectrum, if I expect my husband to be that okay chalo मैं इसको electric shock दे दूंगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा. Both the partner have to come on same page that okay, definitely over here we talk about the time duration. If I want to explore, if I am a shipper, I would be exploring na. So for 2 seconds देके छोड़ो. In Facebook, there is a group only on electrostimulation. Facebook पे एक group ही है where people tend to talk about their own life, like not life, their own stories on electrostimulation. And there is a individual, I don't know about his name. He's from Britain. He said he wrote in the Facebook group that he took electrostimulation from his wife for 35 minutes at the same degree. Clear about electrostimulation? Okay. Next is mummification. My most favorite. Okay. Now over here, mummification doesn't mean that I have to be or I am making my husband or making my partner mummified, like the one where mummies are there in Egypt. But definitely it means that I'm wrapping my partner. Now here two sort of wrapping walkers, either in that what is called bandage or in polythene. Polythene matlab there you can, if you search the white polythene, you can get definitely sex toys are there, skink practice toys are also there. So what exactly is happening? I'm wrapping my partner, and definitely I feel that the time I would be feeling that yeah, after wrapping my partner or after I am being wrapped off by my partner, sexual arousal occurs. Again, whatever types of king I'm talking about, Facebook पे groups है. If you can even attain that group, definitely you need to give some sort of question and answer before entering that group, because that is a very sort of closed group. If you are not from that spectrum, because the moment I was being there, they had asked me some sort of unusual question which could not answer due to lack of my knowledge, and hence I was not being permitted. But after I did my course, after I handled mostly 10 plus cases, I was being admitted in that group, because it's very triggering. I understand, and hence I'm saying if you all won't get triggered, if you all are comfortable, you all can join the group just to understand more on that side, that how mummification occur. And in fact, I have seen a case, not my case, definitely in Facebook itself in that group, where both the husband is wrapping the wife and the wife is wrapping the husband, and after that they are clicking the picture and uploading that today we are going to have intimacy in this position. And when I was having a like inbox chat with both the partner, I discovered that they are the shapeshifter. They were exploring. So mummification is something where you are wrapping your partner just like the mummy. But keep in mind, only one thing is that you are allowing your partner to breathe. So only the nostrils and the mouth are not being covered. This is what mummification is. Clear? Okay. Sound king. Now sound king is very common in India or anywhere you talk about. Sound king are those sort of
Yeah.
no problem.
I'm not sure whether this question is even appropriate or not, but I have a question that in mummification, do both the partners tie each other up, or like just one partner allows themselves to be tied up and the other partner does not get tied up? Is it like that?
See, I have seen in my original case when I dealt with, I have seen one partner is tying the other partner. Okay. But when I talk about both the partner, I read that case in Facebook group. But it can be in both the thing. It's not that only I am doing and my partner is just watching me. Are Shraddhaji is mummified today. But where it can happen in both these. See, kink is just a sort of preference. It's more on the exploring side.
Okay, so both of them can be
Can be.
tied at the same time.
Yes, it can be.
Okay.
Now, sound king are those sort of individual who they tend to get around by certain sort of sounds. Now, for example, Okay, pardon me if I'm doing this, but I'm not a sound king. But a sort of wala feeling hota hai na, the moment wala, and on a very lower note, this sort of individual get triggered, or not triggered but aroused. I saw a case. It was in the year, this year itself. I forgot the month. He was 37 years old lady. Sorry, she was 37 years old lady. Her phone ringtone was the sound which which her husband used to make, and the wala feeling. Now, when I was questioning that what sort of sound it is, she said, "This is the sound when I'm touching the penis of my husband and he is getting triggered or he is getting aroused. That the moment my husband is making this sound, and he recorded it because I am a sound king and I get aroused by my husband voice only, no other voice." But sound king can get triggered by any sort of sound, even if they are not knowing others. For example, if I'm a sound king, if Paulomi is making some sort of sound, I would be getting aroused and I would be going out, I would be masturbating, whatever. This is what sound king are. And there are, even if you see cases, you can see their ringtones, their caller tunes are generally whatever sound they get like aroused with. I have one of my friend again. She is a sound king, and she tends to get to the sound, like attracted by the sound where she performs sexual activity with her partner. Why I'm saying with her partner, she's from the queer community, so hence with her partner, and hence whenever they perform sexual activity, my friends record that and keep it as a sort of ringtone. This is what sound king is. And also, one of a very small case I would share, hota hai, there are so many caller tunes which are only for one single person. For example, if Paulomi calls me, if I'm keeping one single caller tune, only Paulomi can hear that or listen to that music, no one else. I saw a case where both the husband and wife are sound king, and both of them kept their caller tune particularly for their partner itself. Like husband ने wife का गला रख दिया, wife ने husband का voice रख दिया. So sound king is something which is related with their sound. Clear? Okay. Jinia ma'am, abhi you are getting clear what our kings are?
Yes, it's kind of a revision because I've read a lot about it. So just getting revised.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now cook holding, as I was saying, cook holding are very common. Now this is also a sort of degradation. Now please ask me that whether it's a sort of punishment or not. This happens with the consent from the partner. What generally happens over here, for example, I'm in a relationship with Salman Khan. Salman Khan is in a relationship with me. Now Salman Khan is a sort of cook holding and I'm a cook holder. Okay? Salman Khan would ask me to perform sexual activity in front of Salman Khan with John Abraham. This is a very easy case which I said in a easier format so that everyone can relate. For example, A and B are in a relationship. Okay? Now both of them are cook holder and holding. Okay? Now A asks B to perform sexual activity in front of A itself with C, so that B is performing sexual activity with C in front of A. Now this is not a case of getting two police, getting a divorce cases, nothing. Because I am or my partner is taking the consent from me. Clear about cook holding? Okay. Okay. Next is blood play. Now, what exactly is blood play? Where both the partners or anyone who is a blood player, they would be engaged into drinking the blood of their other partner. For example, I am a blood player. Okay, I am in relationship with Salman Khan. I like to drink the blood of Salman Khan. Now it's not only restricted to any sort of blood or any organ, but I would be talking about two things. This husband and wife came up to me. They brought a teeth, like basically a false teeth from Amazon. Now they were exploring blood play. They used to suck the blood from here, over here. Now, after doing, there are so many pros and cons, because definitely if I'm drinking my own blood after my hands is getting cut, machine gun, Uh, I do not understand polygamy.
I'm
So
talking.
this,
Okay.
tell me.
No, no, nothing, nothing, nothing.
Tell me, I'll explain after you tell me. Tell me.
Actually, I'm not sure whether they have this kink or not, but I just remembered
Hmm.
a social media post by which was put up by Megan Fox, I guess, a couple of years back, in which she was like describing her relationship with Machine Gun Kelly, and she wrote something like, "And then we drank each other's blood." So maybe that might be a blood kink.
Yeah, in Facebook again there is a group. Now, what exactly this husband and wife used to do? They used to put off their put on their teeth, and the teeth has some sort of pins, chota pins. They used to suck over here, and the moment blood used to come out, for example, if I am this is a pin, and if I am putting it in my hand, blood would be coming out, even if it's in a small quantity. अगर खुद का blood होगा तो it's okay, I'm sucking it off. But that husband used to suck the blood of the wife, and the wife used to do the same with the husband. Now, again, all these things have to be made very clear that you are not going to harm each other. Definitely, if you are harming, if definitely it's a sort of harming only, but again, a sort of safe environment that the moment blood sucking of blood has been done, apply some ornament or have that bandage or any other stuffs. Like I tell my client to have some sort of ice so that you can dab that ice. Now again a second option is now second option matlab, same case where the husband used to cut off the wrist of the wife and he used to suck the blood, and the wife used to cut the not the wrist but the thighs of the husband and they used to suck the blood. Okay, and the very last case, now not the last, but a very triggering case. Again, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell so that you all can understand. Yeah, it's a form of sadism. Not, I know, Namrata, I won't again say as form of sadism because whatever case I have seen, it can be in the two side. Vampire. Sajal wrote vampire. Yeah, mostly they are vampires. Because the moment if I when I talk about role play, you all can understand what exactly happens. They like it's a sort of preference. I had a case long back. This couples now couples matlab they did not marry, so it's nothing which I would be calling it husband and wife. The male and female both came up to me. Like the boyfriend basically used to drink the partner when the female used to during the menstruation cycle, basically the period blood. And he used to like that. And it's not only the blood which is coming out, Mark, it's not only the blood which is coming out, it is also the clot. Because that girlfriend, the lady had some issues with PCOD, and hence she used to have clots, majorly clots and also blood also. But the boyfriend used to like to drink that clot also, like eat it up. Now, this similar case I dealt in the case of para. I'm not going to talk in parapsychological perspective. This is what blood play is. It's not only with pin, it can be with blade also. Like I am cutting, it's not that I am cutting, my partner is cutting, drinking, and then my partner is applying some sort of ornaments. And it's not
Sounds like a
necessary.
satanic ritual.
Ha. Ha. Yes, Swati.
Shraddhanjali, correct me if I'm wrong,
No.
right? Um, by giving the entitlement as preference, are we not way too much normalizing these kind of things? I mean, I know safe, sane, and consent is one of the biggest criterias, but
Hmm.
uh, by saying preference, are we not just way too much normalizing such things? I mean, what do you say?
See, I'll be very honest. When I talk that, when I say I'm a king affirmative therapist, that means I know it's normal. Okay? Because I want, after my marriage, honestly, I want to explore all these sort of things with my partner. But if I don't talk about, if I talk that, okay, it's not only preference, it's normalization. I understand what Dr. Swati ma'am you was saying, but for some individual, why I call it as preference is there are some sort, not only from this class, but in other batches, they were like, it's not normal. If I'm drinking the button, like, not only in case of blood, if I talk about electrostimulation, I got so many responses where they said that Shraddhanjali, it's not only the preference, it's some sort of hearting other individual. It's a sort of basically sadist mentality. So I called it as preference, but it can be if when you are doing a course or any sort of webinar or even not doing a course. You can also, I won't say you can call yourself as king affirmative because it requires a rigorous training and submitting of cases and all. But when I say if you all are good in handling, or if you all are okay about talking about sex, if you are okay in talking about everything, if you are okay about like educating other, you can normalize it. Because when I post some sort of things in like in my social media handles with my team, I don't write it as preference. I write it as I normalize it.
Okay.
Okay, was my like answer like was your question answerable?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's just as I said, now it can be a sort of triggering for everyone also, but it's very normal. In India, not only in India, living India, in Western culture, all these sort of things are very normal. Even you all won't believe I said at least to few of my friends that please explore all this side, definitely keeping in terms with safe and consent, and tell me how did you all feel. So kink is quite normal. Even in Kolkata, or if I talk about India, also kink is quite normal. Okay. Rainbow kisses. Jinia ma'am, I do not understand rainbow kisses means. I don't know.
It
Do
is
not search that,
actually
please.
the it is the act of kissing each other, partners kissing each other while mixing the period blood of the woman and the semen of the man.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it's something, but they prefer. I did not knew this some, but it is also a new to me. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. So this was it, and definitely I'm going to share the worksheets of like SSC wala portion so that you all can understand what exactly is this and how to go about it. So right now I'm open for questions. Any questions or anything you want me to wrap it or anything? I am there. You can tell me. Yes, follow me. Tell me.
Uh, I have heard that in, a couple of people, I don't know whether you have had these cases or not,
Hmm.
that, they basically like to swap their partners. So will it come under like a form of cuckolding, that
Yes.
you are having sex with, for example, there is person A and person B, and you know both of them get aroused by when their partner has sex, so like his swapping kind of cuckolding.
Yes, it's a cook holding. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Now, yes, Maitri.
Yeah, there's a chance that this question might be repeated, but can we connect these? Am I audible? Hello?
Ha ha.
Hello? Yeah, so my question was, can we connect these kinks to some sort of, maybe past life related things, or maybe some childhood trauma or some childhood experiences? I wouldn't want to say trauma. Can we connect? Is there any theory of that sort? Uh, Hi. Can I? Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello. I guess there's a network issue from the ma'am side. I'm just calling her
All right.
to check. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear us? Hi, ma'am. Can you please unmute yourself? Actually, your mic is muted.
Okay, so am I audible because I lost in between?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible now.
Okay. I'm so sorry for this technical glitches. Yes, I feel that someone was, yes, Maitri was saying
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So my question was, all these kings, is there any theory of sort where we can connect it to, someone's past experiences or their childhood or something of that sort, or is it just their preference? I mean, is there any research done or in that area?
See, yeah, researchers are done on this area. Like as I said, in two spectrum, one it can be linked with trauma, okay, and other is just on their preferences. If you search about king affirmative therapy, you can know, okay. And there is a book. I forgot the name of the book, but I would be giving the PDF version, so you all can see that how that book helped, like the basically all sort of kink. I'm not talking about only of the subconscious mind, but how it can lead to, apart from preferences, if I leave preferences, some sort of inner child. Like if I talk about parental wound, if I talk about mom wound, if I talk about dad wound, if I talk about sibling wounds, any sort of wound can be connected with any sort of like king practices. But mostly it out of pleasure, it out of exploring what exactly people want.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so before taking any more questions, I would like to clear that after completing sex therapy course, there are two sort of things. Only by completing sex therapy course, no one can become a king affirmative therapist. But after completing a king affirmative course, also no one can become a sex therapist. So you all need to like complete two courses simultaneously, not simultaneously after completing one and another, because to be a sex educator or sex therapist you need to know about sunset focus therapy in majority. But when I talk about king affirmation, you need to know about all these things, because you have to study. Not only study, you have to submit cases related to all sort of things which I talked about. Anyone who have heard of like people that there is no scientific names or any sort of names, but wax king, WX wax king? Yes, tell me. Who can tell me? What about my PPT went out? Tell me. Who would like to tell what is waxing?
It's basically comes under the sensual arena where the hot temperature of the wax on the
Hmm.
skin feels arousing.
Hmm. Yes.
And the waxes are not the typical waxes, they are controlled temperature waxes. That's
Yes, yes, yes. Also, there is no scientific names or any sort of names. There are king who like to eat the hairs of the other partners. And when I'm showing this hair, it's not only limited to this hair; it can be also the pubic hair. Now there are artificial hairs also, which definitely, if you all Google it, you all can see people applies. Okay, that so that my partner is, because it's not an healthy option to eat any sort of hair or the pubic or the genital hairs. People tend to apply any sort of artificial hair which are good for eating. Am I audible? Am I audible, or did I again disconnect? Okay, okay,
No, no, we can hear you.
okay. So any questions? Okay, okay, thank you. uh, okay, so I had a question. Okay, uh, how can therapists create a safe and non. See, without fear of stigma and misunderstanding, as I said, when I talk about, like, also there is a thing which the client can understand. See, there are so many therapists. I'm not going to name anyone, but even in India, if you search about the directory of King Affirmative Therapists, there is a huge directory which has all sort of names of the therapists who are King Affirmative. But out of that directory also, I can tell that there are so many therapists who are not comfortable about talking about sex. Now if I there can be, because when I say sexual educator, that means I have to educate people. It's not only the therapist, or it's not only my client. In general terms, when I was showing a sort of tree position, what I did mention, I was showing my breast. I was also, I had to feel comfortable. If I was like, no, I won't be, because in my class, if I talk about sargalism, female, आशीष, हाँ आशीष नहीं है क्लास पे अभी, आशीष is a male. So I had to be that sort of comfortable, even as a therapist also. Also, it's not on the client, you as a, or us as a therapist, how much we are comfortable. It's not related with king, it's related with my sexual client. Like, it was a sex issue where two couples came. Like, two couples means one only couple which had a girl, husband and wife. The culture, the caste was Muslim, they were Muslim. So the husband, age of the wife was 30 and husband was 32. The husband, after the wife conceived, after the delivery of the baby, I was seeing them since the delivery, like pre-delivery itself, because I'm a prenatal therapist. So the moment after 3 months of the delivery had happened, the wife came up to me, she called me, Shraddhanjali, I need your appointment. So she came up along with her husband. Now she was talking, she was saying that, Shraddhanjali, whenever I breastfeed my baby, my husband tends to come and he is on the verge that mere ko bhi khila do. And it's a general thing which people like. I'm not talking that everyone has to like, but it's a general notion. Now when I was using my hands, whenever I was using my breast, I had to be feel comfortable. It was also on me. As I said, it's not only the client who have a safer environment. Now, because there are certain rituals, because I had read about culture and psychology, and hence I know there are certain cultures which do not permit, especially the Muslim, like Islamic culture, the Muslim culture, the Jain cultures. The husbands are not going to have their milk because of certain ritual, like culturistic belief. But this husband, now this wife said me, Shraddhanjali, I don't know how to go about. Definitely, I had to use some sort of other techniques. I'm not going to tell. So at the moment I was showing my breast, so I had to feel comfortable. If I felt that no, 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 that means I did not become a sexual educator. When I talk education, that means I have to show. When I train teachers, particularly for teachers training, I had to show. It's not only the teachers who are female, there are male teachers also. So it's not only the client, it's you, we as a therapist, how much we are comfortable. If we are not comfortable, that means the client can understand. And believe me, the client understands if you're not comfortable. Because when I did my menstruation coaching class, like courses, I had to take up pad, I had to take up sanitary napkins, show the clients who are of my dad age. So it's not only the Namrata, it's not only the client who feels comfortable, the clients observe your behavior, like your body posture. Because abhi sab kuch available hai need pe, mark my words. If but the client understand, even if it is an online setup, if your bodies are like frozen up, the client won't come back. And over here, we don't do any sort of therapy. क्या therapy करोगे? If a client say I like to drink the part like my male's partner semen, so you can't say nah, please don't drink because of certain personal biasness. We don't do any sort of therapy. We just teach them what is the appropriate way, how to go about that in that direction. We talk about condoms. In my setup, I have male condoms and also female condoms. I have to wear, Lord, I don't wear that. Definitely, I have to take up in my hand. Whether online, whether offline, doesn't matters. Okay. I hope your question was answerable, Namrata. Yes, Tejashwini ma'am.
So, do we assess whether a kink is harmful or healthy for a client? And if we do, then how do we assess that?
Correct me if I'm not wrong. You want me to tell that whether a kink is harmful or not.
Do we assess that in terms of like when you're in a therapeutic, like in a session, if the client is comes up with you with certain kink and you feel that it's might be harmful for the client, do you guide them about how to is the correct way, a healthier way, or do you psychoeducate them about if it is
No,
harmful?
I guide them. I don't psychoeducate because psychoeducation, when a client is coming up to me, they know because honestly, they tells me suddenly I don't need any sort of education. That tell me how to go about it. What steps are needed. Now that the time I require both the partners because there is a word which is called breast play where both the partners. I'm not talking only one partner. I'm talking in general where both the partners like to play with each other's breast. Now, there are some sort of individual who are completely sensitive to breast. That no, please don't put hand over here. Even after marriage also. So that the time I don't touch their breast, I touch my organ and I tell them that this is the way you should move. And if I feel that the clients are highly sensitive, then I don't touch in front of them like my breast because it can trigger them. I have a separate breast which I brought it online. There is a play which is called as breath play. Now, what exactly happens over there? Breath play mein, the partner chokes the other partner, not in a very harder way, in a very safer way. We teach that also, that how to choke. ऐसे finger होना चाहिए. And हल्का से, it's a very loose one, not a very tight one. हाँ. So it's a very tight one. So see, exactly the breast play or this what I said. Breath play, we did not do it in our king affirmation classes because as I said, it's not only limited to whatever I did or whatever I said. It can be much more than that. So it depends on what are the extreme cases you all are taking. It's not necessary to be a clinical psychologist to take up cases like this. If you know, if you can't feel that, no, I'm comfortable in talking about sex, then you can. If you are not comfortable, you can't. And generally, if you all are working with gynecologists, they also do refer. Ha, Paulomi. Paulomi, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Actually,
हाँ,
what
बोलो
I
बोलो.
wanted to say is that, that it may be leaning towards, some sort of spirit. It may be leaning towards the spiritual side, but what I've heard is that, that in whenever you have sex, you don't just, it's not only about the physical penetration or whatever thing you're into, it's also about the energetic component. And I have like not exactly read, it's not exactly properly available on YouTube, I would say, because a lot of it is laced with a lot of Christianity references, which might turn a lot of people off if they're not into that much religion. But is it true that women are much more energetically susceptible to, like, when they have sex with anyone, when they have sex, they're much more like energetically susceptible to kind of absorbing their partner's energy, and uh, it stays in an energetic field until and unless like you cleanse it off. Is it something like that?
Yes, yes. So basically, what happened when I did my training, both in both King of Formation and sex, we had a portion or we had a certain part which was related to horoscope itself. Like there are some sort of zodiac sign which are very energetic. Aries and Leo, Virgo and Gemini. So there are some sort of zodiac signs also which are highly energetic. And yes, women are very susceptible, are very sort of energetic. And even if they perform sexual activity without their partner, they tend to get attracted to that sort of partner. Like for example, today I don't know someone and I'm engaged in a sort of only. I'm not talking about emotional relationship. I'm only talking about the physical one. After a few days, I'll tend to miss this part. I don't know also, but I'll tend to miss, which
Okay.
happens in Tinder.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Swati.
Yes, just a general question. I mean, uh, I have read a lot of therapists, literally ranting, saying there was a sex therapy session or something related to sexual obsession or whatever, where the client flashes. Right? Shraddhanjali, what's your opinion on that? Or as a therapist or a sex educator, or a kink affirmative therapist, what is your opinion on these lines,
Okay.
or how
So you
to
mean to
cope
tell
with,
that the client flashes on the therapist?
yeah, during the session?
Yeah. Yeah. So generally, yeah, it happens because the when I deal, like initially it happened with me a lot, that not only the male client, the female client also tend to get inclined. So what generally I do, I terminate the session. Purely it's a case of termination because I don't want any sort of mishap happening in the session. But also it happens in this way when I'm talking about sex, when I'm leaving King of Formation, there are clients who tends to masturbate also, whether online, whether offline. And if online you also can't understand, it's under the table. And if offline, it's just 1:1, you can feel that the client is masturbating. That the time also I terminate. But generally kya hota hai na, that we talk about this are the things that you are not supposed to do. If you feel that you are getting inclined to me, if you feel that you want to masturbate, please ask a permission and definitely we can leave you. And it has happened after I started practicing. I initially used to terminate, but abhi I don't terminate. Abhi, I have a clear cut opinion that if you feel that you are getting inclined, let me know. Then only I'll terminate you. But if you feel to masturbate, or if you want to masturbate, tell me. I'm going to open that space for you, and you can have that.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Naksha.
Ma'am, I have a general question, ma'am. In puberty time, how can overcome the seeking or searching a partner at all?
In puberty time, how can you avoid your partner?
Seeking or searching.
See, generally it depends on you, your opinion. See, generally what I say, if some clients ask me that I don't want to perform sexual activity with my partner during my menstruation cycle, I tell the both the pros and cons. But generally, what I had worked with so many gynecologists, and I have seen not only with gynecologists, with sexologists also, they suggest more of the sexual part, like sexual intimacy during that time. Because the girls, we are, whenever we are not masturbating, where whenever we are menstruating, we are totally on that spectrum that we can take lot and lot of penetration that time. But it depends on you whether you are comfortable, not you, but if you are talking about your client, it depends on the client perspective. Number one, it depends on how well the rapport has been built between you and the client, so that you can address the pros and cons, and there are no certain cons. Only if the individual is not comfortable, because there are so many girls I know, they are not comfortable during master, like intercourse, like to have intercourse during like puberty time. So I generally go on to tell them that whatever is hygienic and not. If you are talking about hygiene portion, definitely you can use condoms and you can perform sexual activity with your partner. If you feel that no, without condom I would be doing, you can do that. It's your own perspective. It's better. See, this is a very sort of sensitive issue or sensitive thought process. It's better to have that communication with the partner itself to establish that boundary, because boundary settings are to be done not only with the therapist, with the partner also.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, any other question? No question. Any other doubt from the PPT? Did you all enjoy the class, or did you all was like, oh, Sadanji is just eating my head?
Ma'am, I think it's just too much information for us to digest at the moment, but I'm sure we definitely enjoyed. It was very, knowledgeable and very insightful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very informative class. I did attend your queer affirmation class, and this is the second class with you. And it was very informative. Both the classes were.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Before coming, like asking you all, I would like to request. I hope Wine Company had created a WhatsApp group. So I would request everyone, at least, even if you all did not like, you can criticize. I am open to criticism also, so that I can learn or work on my teaching skills. So I would request everyone to share a feedback in the group, not to me, but to the company, so that at least we can understand where we are lagging. At least I, as a trainer, where I'm lagging. So it's a request from my side, so that you all can give a like feedback in the group. And thank you so much, Sanjana. I believe you have attended many of my classes. Okay, so can I have everyone on the yes, Jinia ma'am.
Yes, so my long lost question is that how to become a sex therapist in India, and how to actually go through these courses in India, because I've been doing a lot of research, but there are no such institutes I have found out which are very reliable to go and get a degree or a diploma. So could you
Okay.
please guide on that?
Okay. So I did my sex therapy course from Neha Bhatt ma'am and Seema Anand. That time she was in not Calcutta, she was in Delhi. She did it. But there is a organization, I forgot that name of the organization, Preeti ma'am is doing. Mm, Sajal, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be sharing you the list of the names, like the trusted companies of sex education. So you can share it in the group.
Sure,
Is
I
it
would do
okay?
the needful. Apart from that, I do have one suggestion. There is a university named JSS College. I guess it's in South India.
Hmm.
I think they do provide a diploma in sex therapy. If someone is interested in properly doing a course from in the term in
Hmm.
terms of sex therapy, they can go to JSS Academy. It's a medical university in South India. Thank you.
Yes, and also I it's Dr. Sabhiba, Dr. Sabhiba. You all can get in touch with her. Also, Dr. Niyati and Shaha. Niyati ma'am is wonderful. Though I did not do a course from her, but I did tantric workshop with her. Like not tantric one, matlab not the astrology one, but to explore more on the energetic field, to have a connection with the body, tantric sex. So don't worry, for sex education I'm going to give, but for king affirmation, Dr. Thomas does every year, like it's a long 6 months course. He does this in Delhi. So you have to, it's a, I won't say it's an off online or hybrid. That the time it was fully offline when I did it. It's a 6 months long course. It's a diploma course. For 3 months it's only theory portion, and for next 2 months it's practical. Practical means Dr. Thomas is a king affirmative therapist, and he only comes up with this sort of kinkish preferences or ideologies. He would be giving you the practical exposure, and 1 long month you have to conduct a session under the supervision of Dr. Thomas itself. And after all these 6 months have been completed, next for 2 months you have to complete at least all, from all the king's side you have to submit 2 to 3, minimum 2 studies. Like it's a not a huge long study, at least a case plan where you have to show the picture that you have done. uh, Follow me, I'll give. So you have to show them, so that, so then exam would be given, like exam would be there, both viva and theory, and then certifications would be given. So it's a more than 6 months, it's a 8 months thing only.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for guiding. And really, it would be great that if all these things, the details are given on the group.
Sure.
So thank you so
I,
much.
I'll do it. Okay, so can I have everyone on camera so that we can click a picture? Yes, Aisha, bolo.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask ki who all are eligible for sex therapy course or diploma?
See, I won't say any sort of eligibilities are there. Even if you have done your graduation in some other subject, masters in some other subject, you can be a sex educator. Only the thing is that you need to be very comfortable.
So there are no
Because if I talk,
certain
no,
there are
if
no
you are
certain
doing from
parameters
Niyati
to
ma'am, if you are doing from Niyati ma'am, no certain like eligibility are required that you have to be a graduate or you have to be a master's. But the thing is that you have to be comfortable. Because when you are conducting not only offline work, not only online workshop, when you are conducting offline workshops also, you have to show the client, because you can't touch the client. You have to touch your own body. When I did my tantric workshop, I did it offline. Then when I did online workshop with everyone, it was okay. But the moment I transferred from online to offline, I had to touch all my bodies. I have to show that exposure. And at the time I did, I had, though there is no certain that you have to wear a dress or salwar or something. Just the thing is that you are eligible to touch your own body, because there are so many people who are not comfortable touching, even their heads also. So no certain eligibility, but only if you are comfortable. Anyone can be a sex educator, but to be a sex therapist, you need to have masters in psychology. That is only the criteria to be a sex therapist. But for educator, anyone can be.
okay. And after diploma, we need some other PG diploma and all we need to do.
No. At the time you
Only
are going to,
diploma
after
is
diploma, you need to do an internship. Definitely a 3 months or 6 month internship under that trainer itself.
then we can start practicing, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. So can I have everyone? I know you all came up on camera again. Certainly you all went offline. Sorry. Out. So yes. Swati ma'am, Maitri ma'am, Namrata, Raksha, Pima. I feel Pima I have heard somewhere. So yeah, who is taking Akanksha or Ashish? Who is taking the picture? Sajal, I
Yes, ma'am,
would
I'm
take, or
taking.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
taking.
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking.
why? Ashish, you are taking?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I would request everyone to give a smile. I understand it's a bad class, but you all smile, please.
Done, ma'am. Done.
Okay. Yeah, why? Because my jaws was paining also. I understand. I believe everyone's jaws was paining. So just a request from my side, please do share a feedback about the webinar. If you all feel that I was not even good, share that also. I won't mind. I am open for criticism also. So that Ashish would take the pain of sharing the picture. Don't worry, Pine Company is going to share the picture in LinkedIn itself. LinkedIn, Instagram, kahin pe bhi you all can see. Even I would be sharing, not an issue. Okay, so please, just a request for a feedback from my side. So yes, because this was the most demanding. I remember last class people were like, "मेरे को king जानना है." So I said, okay. Then that the class we decided, okay, this Thursday we are going to do Wednesday. So yes, I hope you all enjoyed this session. कुछ भी बुरा लगा तो I am sorry, but that is the cases I needed to discuss. So I did not went to that extensive level of discussion in the cases because few can get triggered, because from 20 it came down to 17, few left also. So no worries. If you all are having any doubt regarding king, regarding sex, because